This podcast is a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to find out more. 50 years after the events of the final Harry Potter books, and Harry Potter is now headmaster of Hogwarts, ready to usher in a brand new generation of witches and wizards. My name's Radio Mike, and I love Harry Potter. In fact, I love Harry Potter so much that when I was a kid, I wrote an entire series of fan fiction books based on Hogwarts. This is book 1 in that series. Welcome to Harry Potter and the Boys. Hello, Hamoras everyone. Welcome to Harry Potter and the Boys, a fan fiction and sometimes Harry Potter news podcast by me, Radio Mike. Still on hiatus. Thank you to everyone who is waiting and has checked out some of my other content. We are still in hiatus at the moment while Melbourne or Victoria is in lockdown. I'm getting my second Pfizer jab tomorrow, which is awesome, but I wanted to jump on the podcast because, you know, obviously I do a Harry Potter fan fiction podcast. I like Harry Potter. I like talking about it. Big news in the world of HP today. Fantastic Beasts 3 unveils its 2022 release date and it's titled. Obviously, we had Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the pseudo-adaptation of the textbook of the same name from the Harry Potter books that were then published as a book, like a textbook that you could buy. They have now done 2 films in what was originally supposed to be a trilogy, but then they later changed to a 5-movie series, which maybe is called a quintilogy. Anyway, I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on Fantastic Beasts in a sec, but the next Fantastic Beasts movie after Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and then Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, the next one will be called Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, and it will release on April 15th, 2022. There's a little blurb that has been released alongside this press release. It goes, Professor Albus Dumbledore knows the powerful dark wizard Gellert Grindelwald is moving to seize control of the wizarding world. Unable to stop him alone, he entrusts magizoologist Newt Scamander to lead an intrepid team of wizards, witches, and one brave muggle baker on a dangerous mission where they encounter old and new beasts and clash with Grindelwald's growing legion of followers. But with the stakes so high, how long can Dumbledore remain on the sidelines? Very interesting. David Yates will direct the 3rd film. He directed every Harry Potter movie from Order of the Phoenix to Deathly Hallows Part 2. So he is back at the helm. He has a very distinct style. I feel like Harry Potter 5, 6, 7, and 8 movies all have a very distinct feel to them. A little bit bland, but I mean, I think they're fine. The 3rd Fantastic Beasts movie will not feature Johnny Depp as Gellert Grindelwald. He's had a bunch of, issues around his relationship with Amber Heard, so he will not be back. But Mads Mikkelsen will replace him as Grindelwald, which is all kind of interesting. And I guess I just want to talk briefly, if people are interested in my thoughts on this franchise. So I saw the first one when it came out in cinemas, and I thought it was pretty fun, pretty fun, and but a pretty average movie nonetheless. And I don't know, I guess I've talked a little bit about this maybe on the podcast before, but I think in terms of the Harry Potter franchise, everything these days is moving towards franchise potential and making as much money on ongoing legacy brands as possible. Star Wars is probably the best at it. Not only did they do the prequel series and now the sequel series, they're also doing spin-off films like Solo, A Star Wars Story, and Rogue One. They've now got a TV series, The Mandalorian. They had the Star Wars Clone Wars series, and like amongst all that, they've announced like 5 more Disney Plus series based on various characters throughout the universe. So, you know, this is a really big deal now. Marvel Cinematic Universe, another great example of this, doing TV series and films. Even things like, you know, there's going to be a new Ghostbusters movie that's like a prequel. The new Jumanji movies, the new Matrix movie, like the new Bill and Ted movie, like all of these, there's more commercial merit in Hollywood now to make things that are related to something else and nostalgic. And obviously that's what Harry Potter's doing. It's got a huge world, it's got a huge brand potential, and like I have no problem with this. Like genuinely, I'm a sucker for this kind of content. I don't really think it's necessarily I don't think it's bad creatively. I think it definitely stifles like the market of cinema, and it makes it harder for people to come up with original ideas and get them funded and stuff. But I think creatively it can be really fun, especially if you're invested in a world like I am with Harry Potter. That being said, I definitely think they jumped the gun on a few things here. I thought that like it was cool they wanted to do Fantastic Beasts, and then they announced that it was going to be a trilogy. And then I think after the box office success of the first one, they decided, hang on a second, let's do 5 movies instead of 3. I think that was stupid, because it meant that the second movie, which I also saw in cinemas, but I saw it in Tokyo by myself, and I remember going to the cinema and trying to ask them if it was going to be in English or Japanese, and it was in English with Japanese subtitles. It was a bit of a mess in which, like, I don't know, it felt like it was trying to set up the rest of this franchise, and it didn't feel like anything particularly happened in that movie itself. And I guess like things that I like about it is I really like that they're doing the Dumbledore prequel story. Like I enjoy Jude Law as Dumbledore. I thought he was great. And the other thing about it is though, like I don't know if the Dumbledore and Grindelwald prequel story, which is like an important part about Harry Potter lore, I don't know if that has to be shoveled in, or if it should be shoveled into the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Like, it feels like a missed opportunity for like, okay, Fantastic Beasts is going to be its own thing, and then we'll have our Dumbledore Grindelwald TV series, and then we'll have our, I don't know, Voldemort prequel movie, and then we'll do a Marauders prequel series as well. Like, I don't know. I don't like that Dumbledore is getting like plastered into this. But that being said, I'm a fan of the story and I do want to see where it goes. The last movie, Crimes of Grindelwald, ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. If you haven't seen it, it's been out for like 4 years now, so you should see it. But I think Credence is the character's name, who's the Obscurel. It was revealed to him through Grindelwald that he was a Dumbledore, which doesn't really make sense in what we know so far, so he could be lying, but I'm interested in knowing where that goes. And I guess I'm interested in seeing more legacy characters in their younger lives, so I wouldn't mind. I think Professor McGonagall showed up in Crimes of Grindelwald as well, but a lot of people were complaining that it didn't actually fit in with her established timeline. But I wouldn't mind seeing other characters as well. Like, Grindelwald was definitely the Voldemort before Voldemort. He was the biggest sort of dark wizard until Voldemort came along. And I am interested in this story. I just don't know if I'm interested in it from a Fantastic Beasts perspective. I would have rather they given it sort of the time of day I think it deserves in its own story and make Dumbledore the main character of something. I guess I'm definitely going to see this, and I'll see all of them. But I don't know. I feel like they could have just kept it a trilogy, maybe even given us like, you know, the other textbook that was published from the Harry Potter books was Quidditch Through the Ages. And I'm like, okay, maybe they just could have done like a standalone Fantastic Beasts movie that didn't have to lean into the wider world. And then maybe, here's like a Quidditch Through the Ages movie. It's like a sports magic movie or something like that based around Quidditch, and then all these other ideas as well. So Yeah, I'm kind of worried about the Secrets of Dumbledore. I guess the Secrets of Dumbledore could refer to a number of things, primarily the fact that it is heavily implied and possibly confirmed by J.K. Rowling that Grindelwald and Dumbledore, or at least Dumbledore, had strong romantic and emotional feelings for Grindelwald. I don't know if it was reciprocated, but I think that was alluded to in a scene in Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, in which we actually see Dumbledore looking into the mirror of Erised and seeing Grindelwald in the mirror. So that could be one of the secrets, and I guess Dumbledore's sexuality, I suppose, could be a secret, and his relationship to Grindelwald. As well as that, I suppose the Secrets of Dumbledore could refer more broadly to Dumbledore as a surname. Obviously, with what I said before, with Credence being a Dumbledore, that seems to be a mystery or a secret of some sort as well. So it could definitely allude to the secrets of that family and the secrets of the Dumbledore family as well in relation to Dumbledore's sister, Ariana, who was killed in, I guess, the crossfire or the cross magic of the duel between Dumbledore and Grindelwald, which I assume is where the Fantastic Beasts series will end up landing. I feel like that'll be the grand finale of that series, which again makes me annoyed that it's under this branch of Fantastic Beasts as opposed to Dumbledore, right? But yeah, overall, those are just my thoughts on the franchise in general. I am really keen to see more Harry Potter stuff and the world being developed similarly to how, Star Wars or the MCU are being developed. I definitely think Harry Potter has is a powerhouse in terms of story and characters and world building and everything like that. There's also a dedicated Harry Potter video game coming out that is canon to the Harry Potter world, but it's set well before Harry was born and even before Dumbledore was born, I think. That's called Hogwarts Legacy, which has been in development for a while and I think has had a bunch of development issues. But I'm really looking forward to that, which looks like a really good open world kind of action-adventure RPG game. So I'll definitely do a review of that when it's out. And as well as that, I'd really like to see a TV series. I think there's something in the works, but it doesn't sound like it's very good, and just more creative use of the IP as well. I'm disappointed that Fantastic Beasts, it feels like they kind of got greedy, giving it 5 films instead of just staying with 3, but I'm interested to know your thoughts. I've just put a poll on my Instagram a few hours ago featuring the news about the new title for the new film. And I said hate or rate. So far, 62 people saying hate and 35 people saying rate, which means it's a 64 to 36% split here. And I can see a bunch of listeners' names that I recognize here. So I would love to know your thoughts on the Fantastic Beasts franchise and where you would like to see Harry Potter in the future. But until now, thank you for hanging on. If you like these news videos, I'm keen to do them because they're really easy for me to just do from home in front of my mic and just record them straight into my computer. So if it's something that'll tide you over before we can get back to reading the book, and also then I'd love to try and keep doing this. This was actually really, really easy to do, so I really want to keep doing these. I hope you enjoyed this. Please consider if you've gotten anything out of any of my content over the last few years, you can go to patreon.com/radiomike, and for as little as $1 a month, you can just get a bonus podcast between me and Pat, who works with me on all of my stuff. Really helps me to keep building up my content and building awareness for what I'm doing. And little as $1 a month. I would love for you to support me. You can also go to radiomike.com.au to find all of my stuff. And a little announcement, I do a bunch of content, a bunch of different shows, including my main podcast, 20th Century Boy, which had a spin-off called Mike Talks on the same feed. And as well as that, I did a comedy video series called Mike Check with 3 episodes. And all of that's on my YouTube. For some stupid reason, and this might annoy some people, earlier this year, I decided to move my Harry Potter podcast away from my main YouTube channel and make it its own YouTube channel. But I've decided that at least over the next few months, I'm going to be reversing that change. I know, how fun. And everything I do will be just on one YouTube channel, which is just Radio Mike. So you'll be able to catch new video episodes of Harry Potter and the Boys and 20th Century Boy, and everything I do will be on one YouTube channel. I think that just makes the most sense, and that's what I want to do. I have a bunch of exciting projects coming up in the new year, and I'm really excited for you to see them, and I really appreciate your support. So yeah, take care, and hopefully we'll be back doing this pod very, very soon. See you guys. This podcast was a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to check out all our other content, stay up to date at radio.mike on Instagram, and get in touch, radiomikepod@gmail.com.